welcome to my channel. My name is Vivianoseni, and on this channel I talk about everything nursing in the UK, lifehood, motherhood, and everything in between. So if you like any of those stuffs, please join the family, subscribe down below, hit the notification button so you get any updates on any videos I post subsequently. So sequel to my previous video on working in the NHS, or the difference between the NHS and the care homes, I'm here to talk about choosing to work in the NHS or the care home. So if you have dilemma, doubts, you've been concerned, what should I do? I have various offers to the UK, to the NHS, to the care homes. Where am I going? Well, I'm here to help you to make that decision probably easier, make you make up your mind on what setting to choose to go practice in the UK. So let's get right into this video. Okay, first off, the NHS is the largest provider of care in the UK. It's a national health service where every individual in the UK in Great Britain has an NHS number. Now, NHS number is a single identifier. Once your child is born into the UK, registered, you definitely have an NHS number. So it's an identification system, and it is one that's also tailored to the healthcare. So for you to get an NHS number, you must register with your GP, and when you're registered, you have an NHS number, or when you're born, or whichever way, when you come to the UK as a temporary resident or as a visitor, you can get a number. So this number is tallied to the NHS. So you see how large the NHS is. Everybody in the UK is under the NHS. Okay, and for me, I think the NHS is a beautiful thing. So now, choosing to work in the NHS or the care home, and on the other hand, the care home is care of the elderly above 65 in a home away from home. That is what I call it. Caring for elderly people and vulnerable groups in a setting that is close and feels like home. Now, choosing to work in the NHS or the care home is totally a decision that is up to you, but I can make it easier for you. For you to work in the care home, you have to be comfortable working with elderly people, because everyone in the care home is elderly, and you have to be able to work with vulnerable groups. Vulnerable groups, I mean by people who have probably mental states that are incapacitated, or people who through their old age are already affected by one disease or the other. They are vulnerable and cannot help themselves, or people who have less ability to take care of themselves, because you are going to be standing in the gap. You're going to be like an advocate. You're going to be the one looking out for them. So if you have to work in the care home, you have to be somebody who is apt, observant, and able to work with and care for elderly people and groups. So if you're coming from Africa or any part of the world, and in your culture, you have the culture of caring for elderly. In Africa, in Nigeria, I know that we care for our elderly parents, even in our homes, even in our houses. So it's kind of akin to us to take care of our elderly families and our parents. We don't send them to any care home. We are their first carers with the children. And plus, if you're a nurse also, then your job is already increased. So if you're one like that who loves elderly people, who loves caring for people, looking out for people, being able to stand up for people who cannot speak for themselves, then a care home is your best bet, because you're going to be the figurehead. You're going to be the one who is in charge. You're going to be the nurse who looks out for everybody. You're looking out for everybody, their needs, looking out for what they need, and ensuring that those needs that they have in the form of care is given, making needed referrals to the GP, or if the residents need any religious or cultural requests, you try your best working with your manager to ensure that the resident gets these requests fulfilled. So to work in a care home in the UK, you must be one who is very diligent, one who is observant, one who is keen and able to look out for people and able to speak up, and you must especially have a passion working with the elderly, and as much as possible must have had an experience working with the elderly. However, if you're not able to work with the elderly, or you're one who is not, you know what I mean, then have a rethink. Or if you're one who doesn't like working in the acute setting where there is a lot of blood, well, then a care home may be very good for you, because you have less blood, because you have more stable patients who are elderly and are just in the care home because they are in a place that is just away from home and feels like home, and they can get the care that they need in the care homes. For the NHS, if you are one who likes working in an acute setting, surgical, medical, who likes specialty, who has a thing for career progression and development, not to say that they're not career development and progression in the care homes. The career progress and development in the care home is different, in that you can progress from being a staff nurse to a home manager, or to a manager of the care home, be the clinical lead, because you are a registered nurse. Now, those are the career paths in the care home, but in the NHS it is quite large. You have opportunity to diversify, specialize in various specialties in nursing with the help of the NHS and the programs and the educational programs that the NHS, which you'll be working in, is going to provide. If you're in a teaching hospital, but then fine, because you have opportunity to progress even your certification, even to a master's or to a PhD, depending on what you want. So if you are the one who is career driven, if you are the one who is out for specialty, if you are the one who has a passion to be actualized in yourself, in your career as a nurse, then the NHS is going to be the best option for you. However, we also have the private settings also, who run hospitals and group of hospitals that provide care for people. So if you also have those kind of places in mind, which is a private setting, they may also be a good source, because they can also help you and sponsor you to ensure that you get your career development. So that is it basically. If you're one who is keen on specialties, if you're one who is very flexible to work in different settings, name it surgical, orthopedics, medical, care of the elderly, is rest care, is it in gynecology, obstetrics? If you are one who is able to be flexible in your choices and in the areas where you can practice, and you like that flexibility, some trust will give you the ability to rotate around the trust in the different departments. So that makes you a more versatile nurse who has knowledge of every bits and bits of practice in the UK. So if you're one who just likes to stay in a particular department, then you know where you should be. And some trusts may not give you opportunity for rotations, mind you. So there are different policies across trusts. Trust A and Trust B are two different trusts. Policies differ. The way they give opportunities to their staffs differ. So don't quote me saying, hey, she said that I can go rotating. It's different from trust to trust. So you can put these questions out during your interview and decide if that trust is a trust for yourself. So, like I said, I've given you the most exact difference between the NHS and the care homes. So if you want to come into the UK, you know the level of practice you are at right now presently, and you know the level of practice you want to attain when you get into the UK. I don't want you to come to the UK and regret why you made a decision to be here or there. It's out there for you. Decide where you want to go to. Another thing I want to mention is that in most care homes, you are paid more than in the acute setting, which is the NHS. Well, that is the way it is. So if you're one who wants to come in to work for the money and earn a good pay, irrespective of what happens to your career or development wise, or you just have a plan to just forestall all those things, then the care home may be a good option for you. But if you are one who is keen on making money and come to the NHS, you will be disappointed. However, the good thing is that you have been given this offer letter, so you know what you're supposed to get beforehand before coming to the UK. But when you do come to the UK and then you find out that somebody else is earning XY amount of money and you become sad, look at the flip side. Why are they in the care home? Why are you in the NHS? So depending on what stand you're taking or what reason you're coming to the UK for, then you know where to pitch your tent, or you know where to decide to work. It can be a very difficult one, but it's two things. Are you career driven, academic driven, specialty driven? You know where to go. Are you driven by your passion to care for people, be keen and be able to give adequate kind of care to people, even of vulnerable groups, and at the same time making good money? You know where to choose. I'll leave that decision to you, and do hope that you make the best choice to ensure that you have the right state of mental health while doing your job in the UK without any frustrations or without any hassles. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and comment, and don't forget to click the subscription button and the notification button below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in my next video. If you do have any questions or any videos you'd like me to make, kindly leave a comment below. I do my best to answer them. Thank you for your time. Love you all. Bye.